Now let's have a look-see. Oh, it's soft, buttery, and filled with delicious raspberry jam. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Fumeke, and today we are making hot cross buns. In a large bowl, we are going to combine some all-purpose flour, about 500 grams of it, 75 grams of caster sugar, 7 grams of instant yeast, and 6 grams of fine sea salt. Now I'm just going to combine everything thoroughly till everything is mixed together and create a little well in the center for our wet ingredients. In goes 50 grams of melted butter, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and 250 ml of buttermilk. Next thing we are going to do is mix this thoroughly till everything is combined, till the wet ingredients, like the flour part, is no longer separate from the wet ingredients, before we now continue to knead this on our work surface. Now I'm going to flour my work surface generously and turn out the dough. So guys, this is about to get super messy. It looks deceptively together right now, but this is like the messiest dough I've ever worked with. This dough is soft, but then that's what's going to give us that fluffy fine finish at the end of the day. So just try to persevere, or better still, just do this in a mixer. I haven't kneaded the dough by hand in a long time, that's why I decided to do this one by hand. But if you have a mixer, please feel free to use that. You're finally somewhere after 15 minutes of serious kneading. Guys, my arms hurt, but it's worth it. I promise that it is worth it. So now I'm just going to roll this into a neat ball and pop it in a bowl that I've already greased with some vegetable oil and leave it to proof for about 1 to 1.5 hours, or just till it doubles in size. You guys, it's just a little under 1 hour and my dough has already like almost tripled in size. I love how soft this dough is, and that makes it rise so well. So I'm just going to punch it right in the middle and turn it right onto my work table. So I'm going to spread it evenly as much as I can to make sure there is no oil left in the dough. What I'm trying to do is pattern the air out so that it's as flat as possible when I start to put the raisins right on top of it. Oh, and the orange zest too. If you don't like raisins, you can actually use dried berries, dried currants, or any dried fruits of your choice. Really, even tutti frutti is welcome in this recipe. The orange zest actually takes this recipe to a whole new level. I've made hot cross buns before, but this one with the orange zest is always going to be my favorite. I love it. Now I'm just going to gently roll over the dough over the raisins so that everything is incorporated. This is messy part 2, only that this time around, because of the grease from the bowl, it's a lot more easier to work with. But essentially what I'm going to be doing is kneading it right all over again. So this took about 3 to 5 minutes. It didn't take so long at all. So the moment everything was well incorporated, it was ready for me to cut it into balls. So guys, now will be a really good time to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. You can't tell me you haven't been enjoying this video, come on. So I'm going to be cutting 12 equal balls with my scale, but you can actually just roll into a ball and cut it into 12 pieces, or make it into a log and cut off. You can just make 12 pieces, but I am obsessed with the quality, so I'm just trying to like make sure everything is like the same size. This is just a personal preference, it is not compulsory. So far you can get them to be like around the same size, it's okay. So now I'm going to fold them into balls, and here is how I do mine. I just pick a piece of dough, stretch it out and fold it in over itself. So I'm also trying to tuck in the raisins because when they stay on top, they actually burn in the oven. And then gather the excess at the tips and just roll it onto my work surface in my clawed palm, and that's it. You get your balls. So now I'm just going to make the last ball, and this baby is going to be ready to rest for another 20 minutes. So now I just need to make the paste, and I used some orange juice, about 10 ml of orange juice, 75 grams of flour, and 15 ml of water. So I'm just going to make a paste and turn it right into my piping bag and set it aside to use when the dough has proven fully. These babies are finally ready to go into the oven, and now they are really risen and like touching, as opposed to when we just make them into balls. So now I'm just going to put the crust right on top. I just cut a little snip of my piping bag to make a really thin tip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all over a single line with the crust, and then do it for the second row and then the third row. And this is just going to help you stay consistent, as opposed to drawing the crust and having to go back to make the crust on every single one of them. So this is just more efficient, I guess, and because of the paste too, it gives you a neater finish. So I'm just going to make the crust right on top of that, and we are going to bake these babies for 20 minutes. So I'm not just going to leave the crusts right there like that. I'm going to make an orange glaze. I'm going to make an orange icing that I'm going to use to pipe across right on top of the crust. And I'm using a cup of powdered sugar and just enough orange juice to get the consistency that I like. So I'm just going to pour this into a piping bag too, and I'm going to set it aside for when the rolls are out of the oven. Ta-da! Oh my god, guys, this smells amazing. So I've waited for them to cool for about 10 minutes before turning them right upside down. So what we are going to do now is we are going to create little holes right in the center of each of the balls, because we are going to pipe these babies with some raspberry jam. And this is just extra, but you know what, it's delicious too. So with my raspberry jam right in my piping bag, I'm going to just fill it in one after the other. You filled it when it resists or it pushes out itself. So you're going to leave it in this position for about 5 minutes for it to soak up the jam before turning it over. These babies are soaked now, and whoop. So they look a little dull, but that's because there was no egg wash when we baked them the first time. So I'm going to be using some honey glaze right on this baby. So it's just some honey that I put in the microwave to lighten them a little bit, and I'm just going to brush them right on top of the balls to make them shiny, like they need to glow. Now I'm just going to make a crust right on the crusts that we already made with the orange icing. And this is just a sticky, nice addition. It's not compulsory, but it's delicious, you guys. It's sticky, it's perfect, and just see what it looks like on the inside. Whoosh! Can you just see that? It's soft, it's buttery, it's fluffy. It has raisins and orange zest. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time in another video.